Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at the 1987 Japanese exclusive cassette bot. This is Dile, as he's known in the Western world, and Dairu, as he was known in Japan. I'm going to explain a little bit more about that later on, but what we're going to do with this video then, we're going to unbox him live now, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're going to have a detailed look at him in just these two modes for now, because unbelievably this is one of them really clever combining cassettes. I'm going to of course do some comparisons with some of the original cassettes as well, just to give you an idea of how big he is. And for those of you who've never seen these or collect newer line figures, I've got a couple of core class, deluxe, loads of different toy lines which we can do some comparisons with as well to give you an idea. Now, as I start to pop these away, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to this channel, if they'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please, because it really will help me out. And if you are new to this channel, I intend to get every single Generation 1 figure ever made in a video like this, so you can use it for reference, or indeed just have a look at the toys that were available. So yes, in Japan they came packaged, cassettes obviously came packaged in little boxes like this, as well as being on card as well. But as I'm sure you'll agree, the little boxes look way better, because of course it meant that you could just put them back in. Even their cassettes that were normal standard Hasbro releases like these as well, so not just the special release ones, normal cassettes came in these little boxes as well, which again I'm sure you'll agree looks much better. In fact, I'm just going to keep that one there for a second, because again, for those of you who are unaware about the Japanese continuity, what we've got here on the top right of here, we've got a C, which stood for Cybertrons, which was the Japanese word for Autobots. The 1, 2, 3 is just his reference number, whereas this obviously has a D, which stood for Destron, which is Decepticon, and that was his reference number. Now, I briefly touched on the name. So as I say, we know him as Dile. He's even called Dile in the Transformers Earth Wars game, but in Japan he was known as Dairu or Dairu. And I think it is, or I've read that we think it's something to do with like lost in translation, because Dile sounds a bit like reptile, because this guy is alternate mode is like an iguana, which I'm sure you'll agree it actually looks like it. And I forgot to say at the beginning of the video that this is now my favourite cassette. This has just blown me away. I really hope I can do this some justice. So on the back we've got a little bit of a write-up about him. This, funnily enough, there's a picture of legout, which is the combined mode. We've got one robot point, and then on the bottom we've got the tech spec. So let's open him up. Yeah, I've got to confess, just before I did this video, only literally a couple of minutes ago, I had a play with him, let's be honest, for the very first time, just to make sure that I was okay transforming him, etc., and nothing was going to crack or break. And it's just blown my mind. It's amazing for how old this actually is. So they came in a little plastic tray like so. The instructions were red, black and white, and of course red and black because it's an Autobot, so that was the red and black colour scheme. You've got a transformation process there of him to iguana, and then the bottom is the combined mode. On this particular video I'm just going to do the iguana, and I'm going to do a separate legout video because it's a separate character of its own. It also came with this beautiful collector's card, which a lot of the Japanese figures did from very early on, and this is where of course the masterpiece idea came from, and indeed lots of third-party companies as well put these collector's cards in with them. We've also got two accessories which can attach again in combined mode and in the iguana mode, and it's time for some good old-fashioned chrome that you just don't see anymore. But if you've got one of these and you're looking to complete it, that is the accessories that you're looking for. Right, so as you say, it's pretty obvious that this is not just a cassette, but if we look at it from this side, it's got the stickers and everything. I'm quite lucky that it's there, and yeah, as I say, it's really obvious that it is not just a cassette. So let's very carefully take him into his iguana mode. So I'm just going to take the head off that tab there. I'm going to take the legs, fold these all the way down, take what's going to be the tail, fold this all the way over, this folds all the way over, and then underneath there's another bit that folds out as well. So very much like the newer third-party little figures with all the bits that fold out here, there and everywhere. Then of course you can probably tell that they might be feet, but obviously not for an iguana, so we need to fold down the reptile feet. We're going to then bring out the arms like so, and we can lift this back if you wanted to. So if you wanted to just tilt him over a little more like that, you could. I'd rather have it, I think, forward, leaning over that way. and indeed just sort of stand him up. So he's quite a tall cassette, a bit like Ravage, with the fact it's quite I suppose awkward to stand up. Then we can take these attachments. You can put them at the back, but to be honest, I've never seen anybody put them at the back. In the images that I've seen, they're all, like you can see there in the picture, you can see the hole clearly visible at the back, and then you can put this just above, I suppose, on the neck joint. I'm not going to push it all the way in for obvious reasons. This way around, though, it looks really good. And again, remember how old this is. So we've got articulation at the neck, articulation at the small arms, double articulation at what we could even say is a hip, then a knee, and indeed ankles maybe, or at least a tilt. And of course the tail, as you can see, has got articulation there and at the back as well. And again, I'm sure you'll agree, for its time this was made, it's stunning. It's so I mean, all the cassettes were clever from day dot. They've always sort of blew my mind. This is his partner in crime, Zor, who again I'm going to be combining in another video. You will get to see this. I'm going to have a go at doing it. So these are two, again, Japanese exclusives from 1987. I think they've been reissued recently though, both of which I've not seen at all. Right, so with regards to other cassettes, there is, I always get these mixed up. Now I'm going to say Rewind. If I get it wrong, I'm going to get absolutely blasted in the comments, but there we go. There we've got Squawk Box, and we've got Slam Dance. So already he's near enough as big as them without him being combined. So there's some generation one, I suppose, normal figures. What I mean by normal figures is cassettes. In fact, if I bring in some mainline newer figures nowadays, so there's a Voyager figure from now, there's a deluxe figure from now, and here's a core class figure. So he's as big as a core class figure already, which is great. Let me just move all of these out of the way, and then very quickly just bring in some third-party company figures as well. Funnily enough, I've got him there as well, just to show you how much bigger he is compared to him. So for those of you who collect third-party, it's just an idea of how big he is. There's New Age David. There is Dr. Wu's Optimus Prime, Magic Square's Trailbreaker, and Iron Factory's Phantom, or Mirage, shall we say. So you can see that he's quite big. Obviously these are way more articulate and way more detailed. I just wanted to give you an idea of his size, but I think I've pretty much showcased this guy enough now. He does look really good. What I'm going to do right now though, I'm going to take him back into his cassette mode, and then you're more than welcome to join me in the other video that I'm going to put up at the same time as this, maybe in fact just a couple of minutes after, to give you the chance to watch this particular video first. And then I'm going to get out, as I say, Zor and Dile. I've probably just messed that up. Fold that over. See, I did. I'm going to get them both together and I'm going to combine them, and then I'm probably going to leave them like that forever. But there we go. That was a quick showcase and look at Transformers 1987 Dairu. Hope you enjoyed looking at him. Thanks very much, guys. Take care.